Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Happy Friday's Eve. Welcome again to another edition of Travel Talk Live. I am your host, Tabitha, the owner and founder of the Travel Krewe, where we create phenomenal travel experiences for phenomenal people. So good to be back. We were out last week, but I know you. I hope you missed us. Yeah. So I think we missed 2 weeks actually. Oh wow, y'all! It's been a while since I touched back with y'all. So I'm glad you're joining in. If you're out there, as always, go ahead and just give me a little hello in the comment section. Love hearing from you. Um, Let me know where you're tuning in from and stuff. Yeah, it has been a while, guys. So it's October. It's officially fall. New Orleans still doesn't feel like it. It feels like summer sometimes, or what they call a false fall or whatever it is. But I hope everyone is doing well out there. I'm so happy to tune in today. If you didn't see in maybe in your emails or in the social media, we're going to just recap a little bit of our London trip that we did a few weeks ago when we went out to London to support the New Orleans Saints when they played the Minnesota Vikings in London. All right, so thank you again for tuning in. You may be tuning in from our Travel Krewe Facebook business page. Thank you so much. Or you're maybe tuning in from our Travel Talk Facebook group. If you're not a member, go ahead, please join that group. It's a great group of people. And as I say all the time, if you're in there, make sure that you'll see some instructions that you can go ahead and register your name. If you register your name, then I can see who I'm talking to, because if you write a comment, it doesn't show me who's saying anything. If not, that's fine. Just go ahead and identify yourself when you put a comment or a question in. And also, you may be tuning in from our YouTube page. Thank you so much, the Travel Talk YouTube page. Please, if you're tuning in from there, we appreciate the support, and just go ahead and subscribe. So, excuse me. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm sorry you're hearing the throat. That's a little bit why we had a couldn't tune in last week. Wasn't My voice wasn't up to par, so I wasn't gonna be able to talk. So I'm just gonna go over a little highlights and stuff. If you want to know what you have some questions about London, feel free to drop them in the comment section. I'll answer what I can. And also, if you were in London, because you know a lot of New Orleans was in London a few weeks ago. If you were out there, go ahead and let me know in the comment section that you were out there, because it's fine if you weren't out there with the Travel Krewe. You may have just been in London, and I would love to hear if you were out there and stuff. So go ahead and do that. So just to recap, excuse me, the Travel Krewe, we had 15 people that went with us on a group trip to London. We did 2 packages actually. That's a first. We don't normally do that, but the 2 options were, and the reason why I did it, I know a lot of people wanted to go to London to watch the game, but we also decided we had another package available. I called it the gold package. So we had the black and gold package, where it wasn't just focused on the game, but it was focused on London, because London is a bucket list destination, or the United Kingdom is a bucket list destination for a lot of people. It's a lot of history and everything, and so we did that. So y'all, let me say this. I enjoyed myself a lot. I've always just kind of like British culture, and I'm definitely planning on going back. I know I got some people that want to know, am I going to put a trip out there, for a group trip? So I think I'm going to have to put it on the future destinations list for the Travel Krewe. But let me just, touch on some highlights, some differences. And like I said, if you have some questions, go ahead and drop them in the comment section, or whatever. You have some comments about London, I love to hear them. So one of the things, if you're going to go to London, that I want you to keep in mind is that London is old. London is just a very old city. The United Kingdom, or England, is just an old country. Think about that. United States, 1776, and the founder, the settlers who started the United States government came from England. So, this is history and stuff. And so even though there are some modern things being built, a lot of the stuff you see, even though it's modern on the inside, it's in a older building. So that's the thing. So it's an old feel. It's a commuter town, meaning that it's you want to call it a subway system, but the underground is what they refer to. A lot of buses, double-decker buses, which I did actually end up doing transportation. It was really easy. I mean, you can just tap your debit card or you tap your phone and pay your bus fare and ride the bus. You see a lot of walkers, bike riders. So it's a lot of it's a commuter town, just so you know. So it's a lot of convenience there. I didn't take a taxi. Transportation I did there. If we didn't have private coaches, which we did have private coaches for or private transportation for a lot of our tours, then I did either a Uber or I rode one of the red double-decker buses. So that's just something to keep in mind. Just to give you a cap. So we flew out there. The flight wasn't that bad. I don't know why I was thinking it would be horrible. Not horrible, but long, but I don't know, maybe it's like a 7-hour flight, which compared to doing 15 hours, it was like, yeah, that wasn't that bad. So that was a pretty decent thing. Nothing to report, nothing crazy or anything. Got to the airport, met up with some great people. Let me say this, what I love is not everybody knew everybody, but by the end of the trip, everybody was talking about what trip they're doing next and, keeping in touch and stuff like that. So that's what I love about the Travel Krewe. And if you ever go on one of our trips, that's the type of experience you're going to get. So just to let you know, we were staying in the Waterloo area. It's an older area, but it's by so many attractions and hotspots and stuff that it's a very popular area. And it was because there were a lot of Saints supporters in that hotel. So that was pretty good. So you were constantly in a hotel telling somebody who that. Tons of black and gold, because New Orleans does not disappoint when we show up somewhere. So it's packed. So we actually got there the Tuesday before the game. We left on a Monday, but we arrived in London on a Tuesday. So the Tuesday before the game, the first group of people arrived, and some of them hit the ground running. And I thought that was cool and stuff. They went, explored the area, like I said, the Waterloo area, and hit the town. So I thought that was awesome. The next day, now here's the thing, I don't have a lot of pictures to show you because we did do a lot of the royal stuff, things associated with the royal family. And that's something I would want to go back to, not do all of the royal stuff. Nothing that there's anything wrong with it. It's just, there's so much more to London. The thing is, y'all, when you go, you can't take pictures. So there's a lot of things that we saw that we just aren't allowed to take pictures of. And one of the things that's amazing is I saw the crown jewels. So I went to the Tower of London and we saw the crown jewels, but I can't show you any pictures of it. But the crown jewels are amazing. Y'all, the royal family has money. I mean, it's just amazing. All of the just their possessions, just like the gold-plated swords and the art, and it's wild. But it's just a wild thing just to see all of their riches and glory and stuff like that. So sorry if I'm having a little internet trouble. Let me see something. That just to see all of the grandeur, I guess that's what you want to call it, of what was around. So that was nice. So we did like a little beginning tour of London with the crown jewels and just seeing some of the spots. And let's see, I got somebody saying, hey, it looked like y'all had a great time. We did. I don't know who this is. Tell me who I'm speaking to. So let me see, can I show you something, y'all? Because I got a new boo while I was in London. And I love y'all, so I want to share that with y'all. if I can find it. I'm sorry, I downloaded some pictures and I thought it would be an album, but it's not, unfortunately. Meaning I thought I could just swipe through, but that's on me. Okay. So let me see. And thank you for tuning in. You know we do this whenever I try to show out with technology. I always tell you, you learn something new every day. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, here we go, y'all. Excuse me. So I met an English gentleman, y'all. And so he asked for this picture. You can see we're outside the Tower of London. This is Nigel. Nigel was our tour guide for the entire week. Nigel is a former police officer. This man has so much knowledge. So if you ever journey to London and this guy is your guide, prepared to just learn everything. So he wanted to take a picture. I did get to take this picture, but this is outside of the Tower of London, not inside. So he proposed to me. And that was our picture. Just to let y'all know, he's very much married. So don't want y'all thinking anything. But yeah, that's Nigel. So Nigel was our host. Nigel has a lot of history. So it was a lot of the history of London that we got with him. So that first day we did, like I said, saw Big Ben, which, people think is traditionally the clock, the big clock, but it's actually the bell on the clock. Not that they have a problem with that, if you call it that. Just seeing around, going around London. Now, the other thing that we got to do, which was really nice, is we went to Kensington Palace. Now, Kensington Palace, up until the Queen's death, was where William and Kate were living. Princess Diana at one point had been there. So it's royal property. And we got to have tea at the royal property, which I thought was a great experience. So, we're in London. We had to do tea, y'all. I mean, it is, how could you not do tea? Come on. And so let me show you some of those pics. Which I have to say that was one of the highlights, is just to have an official English tea. And they have some really good tea, so I can't even lie about that. So that was a good experience. So this is me in front of the setting. You can see the nice little right here, this nice beautiful setting. That's the menu where you can order your tea. So that was cool. And then also, let's see. Again, thank y'all for bearing with me. So this is the spread we had. So you can see it's like a tiered thing. So yes, we did have champagne and tea. It started out with champagne, but we did have hot tea after. So I thought that was an interesting touch. So you can see here, these are like the finger sandwiches. Yes, we did have cucumber sandwiches. There's some egg salad. This is like a salmon sandwich, which actually I was shocked that I liked so much. This right here, these little things in the middle, these scones. No, these aren't. Yeah, these are scones. Man, those things were so good. I've had a scone before, but I guess I needed to have a scone in London. They were good. And then at the top, you can see see that we had some cake, which was really good. And let me see if I can show you a video. If you were following us on social media while we were in London, we did do a little, we had like a boomerang that we made. So here's the, let me see, can I get that? Oh, I don't know. But it was fun. I don't really figure out. Thanks for hanging on while I get this video together. Like I said, we learn something new every time we do our technology, but we're learning together. All right, let's see. So this is just a little video we did. You can see Nigel in there. Nigel wouldn't drink with us. He drank tea. So you can see we had, and I'll play it again. You can see we were toasting our champagne, and there's our teacups and the cakes and the scones and the sandwiches, and we felt so dainty and pretty and royal and all of that stuff. So that was a good experience. So I highly say if you go there, I recommend the tea at Kensington Palace. Really enjoyed it. They're doing some renovations. We were like in this, what was it? We were in a temporary area, but they were renovating their original area. And so it will be moving to, I guess, a different spot. So that'd be nice to go back. Just a heads up. I know there were some things going around online, like on Travel Noir, about the Black-owned tea shop in London. I checked it out. I didn't check it out in person, which I'm glad I didn't, because I was actually going to, just get up there and head out there and see what was there. They don't do walk-ins anymore. And I know everybody was excited because Travel Noir was posting about it. They don't do walk-in tea parties or tea sets, whatever you want to call it anymore. You actually have to make an appointment for like a group tea party. So that's something to keep in mind. I know people were talking about that when they were like, oh, the Black-owned tea shop. So that's just a tip. What was cool also about that night is we closed out. So, after a day of touring and tea and all that stuff, y'all, we what you need to know is the Waterloo area is not that far from West End. West End in London is the equivalent of our Broadway. And so they have all the musicals and stuff like that. And they had Lion King, Mamma Mia, Book of Mormon, stuff that you would see in Broadway. But they also had Tina, the Tina Turner musical. And what was cool about that is the prices don't compare to New York, thank the Lord. So we ended up seeing the Tina Turner musical for about $30. So if you're in London and there's a musical you've been wanting to see, check it out, because the prices seem to be a lot better. We did go on a Wednesday night as opposed to, a weekend, and there may be some difference, but somebody said they had been trying to see it in New York and it was $300. So that's just a big difference. So that was pretty cool too. So check out West End. The next day we did we did another tour. Oh wow. I'm trying to think of everything that we did that day. Got to see more. It was just more of royal properties, and the state apartments and stuff like that. And like I said, things that you can't take pictures of, but you got to experience. Now that night, what we did, and I know some people had heard about this tour. I know a lot of people heard about this tour because this is called the Bustronome, just so you know, the Bustrnome. That is a double-decker bus that has dinner served on it. So the bottom level is where the chef is preparing, and the top level is where you're sitting down. It's tablecloths, it's wine settings and all that. So we had a group reservation for that. And what was such a trip is that particular night we went, So we took up almost half of the bus, just my group. The other half was all New Orleans people, except maybe one couple. And you know how we do. And so eventually we took over the playlist. Um, and it just turned into a whole 504 celebration. So that was a great experience. But I knew that's what we were going to do when we when we show up. So the Bustronome was a great experience. I am going to say you're not going to get what we had every time because it really just depends on the people that end up on the bus. But that's a good thing. They also just assigned the Bustronome is in other places. I know it's in Paris as well, but that was a good experience. So that's how we closed out Thursday night. On Friday, we did some more touring. Saw the brief changing of the guards, which is, a highlight for people. We went to Westminster Abbey. We did get to see where the Queen of England was, where she was laying and stuff. So not as emotional for us being from the United States, but excuse me, a lot of people from the United Kingdom, a lot of British people. That was a very, emotional experience for them. So, respect to them for that. So then of course, Saturday was a free day. I ended up doing some shopping in the area, walking around. I think other people did that. Other people did tours and stuff. And, that's what we try to do with the Travel Krewe. We have planned itineraries, but then we have free time and stuff. And then, of course, Sunday, we had to hit the game. So y'all watched the game. It's okay. We didn't win, but we have fun, y'all. I can't lie. It was nice. It was a pretty good stadium. A lot of people, I think, originally thought it was going to be a Wembley, but it wasn't. It was at Tottenham Stadium, which is it took us like almost an hour to get there from the main part of London to where the game was. So this is just some of us. This isn't even everybody, but this is just some of the crew. And so had a good time with these people. You can see. I mean, I wasn't even ready for black and like glitter and sequins, but they look good and I liked it. So these are just some of the fun people we hung out with for the game. So good experience. London, like I said, it was a great experience. It's great looking at the differences, freaking out because, they're on the left side of the road. So it's freaking you out that they're making left turns, on red lights and stuff. That was fun. Experiencing the food. I tried fish and chips because it's so synonymous with London. Wasn't really impressed, but somebody told me I wouldn't be that impressed with it, but I tried it. So at least I can check it off the list that I tried it. What I did try, which I had never tried before and had always said I was going to try it, was curry. It was Indian food, Indian curry. And I heard that London had great Indian curry. So we ate at an Indian restaurant, and that was my first taste in the curry, and the food was really good. I can't even lie. It was a good curry chicken, and then the naan bread. It was good. So that was a good spot and everything. So good food. You can try different foods, but then they have, brands that you're used to, national chain brands and stuff. It's nothing I think that you would just be so like, oh, English food, nothing that drastic from what we do. Maybe a few things, but nothing major. The language is so similar. It's just an easy trip to do. So I enjoyed it. I want to go back. The people we had, that was a great group of people. And I'm so glad I got the chance to meet them. I'm looking forward, hoping they travel with us again. Great experiences, a lot of laughter and stuff. When you have people with good personalities and stuff, everything just flows so much better. Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention, we went to Harrods also. Didn't get to spend enough time in Harrods. Harrods is like the flagship department store of the world kind of thing. Very famous. And we did get a little taste of Harrods. So I would want to go back and see more Harrods. I was just trying to remember other things that we saw, and that definitely was on the list that we went in Harrods. We did some market shopping, meaning like, outside vendors, that kind of thing. So that was interesting too. There's some good things out there. You don't, I did not, speaking of currency, I did not take out that much out the ATM, just so you know, as far as cash. Why I got cash was so I could tip, that I could tip the drivers and the tour guides and stuff. And that was pretty much why I got cash. Everything else I could pay with a card. Even like I said, catching the bus, you just tapped your card and got on the bus. I didn't need to pull out cash for anything else. Even with the street vendors and stuff, they were taking cards too. So if you want to use the British pound, I mean, feel free. But I mean, everything, even in the stadium, I had cash just in case they were going to take cash in the stadium, like for concessions and stuff. And everything was a card. So you'll do well. You don't have to carry a lot of cash with you. But I always advise you to tip your drivers and your tour guides and stuff, and do that in cash. Currently, right now, the US dollar is very strong. And so it's competing about on level with the British pound. So if you see something that costs, excuse me, 40 pounds, it's costing $40. And that happened like while we were in London. The value of the dollar went up. And it was just, it's pretty much on par. So that's something to consider too. The weather it wasn't bad. It was a little cool, like it would be cooler in the mornings and it would get warmer, as the day went by. It was interesting because we only had that London rain that you hear about only once out of our whole week and stuff. So that was kind of cool. So we did have an umbrella. I had my umbrella with me, jacket with a hood on it and stuff. So that was pretty cool. So, that was nice because the prediction before we got there, that it was going to rain our entire trip. And we only experienced rain one day, and it was like towards the end of our tour day. So, it was all good. So, that has been the recap of our London trip. I hope you enjoyed hearing about it as much as I enjoyed talking about it. Thank you so much for tuning in again. If you have any questions about London, I saw some comments, but I don't see any questions. And yes, we had a great time. It was a great time. If there's anything else, feel free. This video will be in the Facebook group. It's going to be on the YouTube page. You can always just put a question there, and I'll be happy to answer it. So I hope that answered, gave you a little peek of what it was like. I hope my recap made you want to travel to London and experience it for yourself. I hope you have a very safe weekend. I will talk to you next week. Like I say, be safe, have fun, and I'll talk to you later.